Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Inside Lion Athletics, another weekly edition. I'm Charlie Chitwood, or just my head this week. Got Jaret von Rosenberg, head coach of the Lion basketball team. Guys got out on the court. Coach, we're getting ready to open it up with a final exhibition tonight at home, but then it starts for real on Monday.
Yeah, we're excited. In hindsight, I kind of wish we would have played a little bit sooner, but it's not the way the schedule fell. But you imagine guys going against themselves and our schemes for since June 4th. It was great to get out and compete against somebody else and get some really good stuff on film.
Well, why not go over to one of our old Lone Star Conference rivals, the Tarleton Texans, and get a look at their new arena, the EECU Center? Since we've got something in mind going up in Commerce, what'd you think?
Yeah, really nice facility. I think they did a great job. I, I want to say I don't know this, but I think the same architects that are working on our building actually did that one as well. Um, so I imagine a lot of the finish outs and a lot of the kind of design will be similar. Ours is going to be a little bit smaller, I think, a little more intimate. I think's the goal. But all in all, when you're able to do something like that on a campus in a small community, it's just a great opportunity, and it'll bring a lot to the Northeast Texas area. A lot of opportunities outside of just basketball. So we're excited about it. A lot of stuff going up on campus and around campus. Things look good in the future.
All right. Well, let's talk about the team and how it played. You don't worry about scores in an exhibition match. You worry about what guys got to do out on the court.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of mistakes, a lot of good things. And when you go into something like that, it was really good for us that Tarleton had already played an exhibition. So, I think they are a little further along, and they really gave us something really good to look at. Coach Gillespie and the way his teams play, intense, full court pressure the whole game. So our ability to flow into offense and get to our spots and communicate was all challenged. And we saw some good things and some areas that weren't as good. So all in all, it was a really good thing for our team. And we will hopefully have another opportunity very similar tonight to have some success and then also see some areas the teams are trying to attack us and what we're doing.
Guys getting to play in front of a home crowd tonight. They're doing a good send up for to get everybody ready for basketball season in Commerce.
Yeah,
Um,
it's right around the corner. It's here. Just looking at our next 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to be all over the world basically. So every time we get a chance to play in front of our fans in our gym, we need to take advantage of that and play well.
Very good. Well, I just got my reminder about the trip to Albuquerque in 2 weeks. So you're right. We're going all over. Tell us about some of the guys that jumped out. I think I'm looking at the box score. Vinny Sagona, Gianni Hunt got in double digits for you amongst the starters.
Yeah, we played a lot of different guys, some different lineups, trying to figure out who plays well together. Um, you know, Vinny Sagona, he really shot the ball well. I think from an offensive standpoint, he's the one that, maybe even exceeded expectations. You don't expect him to hit six threes every game, but uh, to get shots out of our offense and make them. I thought we got a lot of shots around the rim that didn't go in that I think will. But again, it's getting to spots, it's getting comfortable playing against somebody else that you're not familiar with, and being able to execute on both sides of the ball. We don't worry about if it goes in or not offensively as much as are we getting the right shot, are we getting it out of flow. Um, and like always happens for every team I've ever coached as an assistant or a head coach, that first game, I think guys press. I don't even think it's selfish. They want to, you know, show what they can do, all the hard work they put in, and
Sure.
sometimes you got to let the game come to you, and execution is the best way to be successful. So I look to see that improve tremendously just from one game to the next. And then defensively, just we didn't rebound the ball at the rate we need to. So just understanding, that when a shot goes up on either end, that is not a time to relax. That's where the real work comes in so that we can create extra possessions and put ourselves in good position for defensive transition.
Coach, how you talk about transition? How about the way the guys were able to transition during the game? You mentioned that some of them try to press early on just because they want to, they finally get to play somebody else. But did everybody settle down and kind of get more focused on the routine rather than too much energy?
Yeah, we saw some of that for sure. We reset the score at each half, which gave us an opportunity to play two end of game type of situations, and
Hmm.
we were able to be successful in the second one. And we hit a big shot to go up with a minute 40 left or something like that, and we were able to hold off Tarleton's attempt to win that half, if you will. So
Hmm.
we made mistakes in that too, which is great to make those mistakes in an exhibition where you can learn from them and hopefully not make the same mistakes. And we also executed some in the game, get the ball in bounds, time and score. Time and score is such a big part. It's not just, running to play to get a shot, but time and score of the game, the flow of the game really dictates how we want to play. And so we got to see both sides of it, some good and some not so good.
Okay. How about you and your staff? I mean, you got to get into that game flow as well. A little easier for y'all because you've done it a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it's you're right back at it. It's but I think really finding the lineups that play together well, that's what we're really focusing on before they count. So we'll do that again tonight. Really playing two different styles of teams with Tarleton and UT Dallas. So gives us an opportunity. I'm sure we'll make mistakes against a different style that we didn't see in the last exhibition. So happy with the opponents as far as giving us different looks. Especially in our non-conference, that we don't know exactly what to expect from some of the teams. We're playing them for the first time, new coaches
Mhm.
and things like that. So the more we can be prepared for any style of basketball, the better it's going to, put us in position to be successful when we see it.
At the very start of the season like this, and teams are going to be playing differently, do you start kind of cataloging who resembles anybody that we play in conference is kind of the a note to use for later on?
Probably not right now. I think, if you want to talk about it, Tarleton's going to play similar offensively and defensively to Corpus Christi, but yeah, I don't even know when Corpus game is on our schedule. There's so much work to be done between now and then. Um, I don't even know, we'll have a totally different team today than we have in a month, as far as, who's continued to get better, who's grown, the guys that play well together. So it's really hard to even go back to the exhibition, it's not even the same team. So, we try to keep ourselves in silos and focus on what we can control in the moment and,
Okay.
continue to work and improve. It's a process that should never stop. We want to continue to become a better team, better version of ourselves all the way up till March. Because teams that do that and play well late are the teams that have opportunity to go to the NCAA tournament.
Coach, for you, you've been through the whole process, the whole transition from D2 all the way up. What's this year like for you? What's the outlook for you?
Oh, the Outlook's NCAA tournament. You know, and I should say the Outlook's postseason basketball. It's probably the better way to put it because uh, you approach every conference season one game at a time. It is such a long conference schedule with 22 conference games. Um, that's starting off well and playing well early. If you're able to win the league outright, then you get an opportunity to automatically go to the NIT with also being that one or two seed that gets a double bye in our conference tournament. So conference games mean so much. They put you in position. If you have to play 3 or 4 games, it just makes it almost impossible. And that's why we do it that way as a league. We want to reward the teams that excel during the regular season and give them the best chance to go to the NCAA tournament because as a one bid league, we're looking for units, and units are how many games you get to play in the NCAA tournament, and obviously comes with a revenue portion from the NCAA that helps your athletic department do a lot of things, not just in basketball, but um, in academics and facilities and everything. So, we, no matter who represents the Southland, and it's hard for me to say because some teams, are rivals and stuff, but we cheer for the Southland. We want whoever gets in the NCAA tournament from the Southland to do well and win as many games as possible. Obviously, with McNeese being the most recent example, but SFA did it where they won
Sure.
a couple games, in the past. So anytime we get a team in there with a good seed, we want them to go and play as long as possible.
All right, coach. Man, it's fun to talk about basketball again, isn't it?
It's here.
All right,
It's
let's
here.
do it. Hey, good luck to y'all tonight. Have a big house and a loud house, and we'll see you next week.
All right, sounds good. Go
All
Lions.
right, lines up, everybody. Thanks, coach. And folks, stick around. We'll be back with the next segment right after this. Hey, everybody, welcome back. Some more of Inside Lion Athletics. We're going to the soccer pitch for our next guest. And special she is Malaya Ring out of Dana Point, California, but she's proud to be a Lion. Defensive Player of the Week in the Southland Conference after that 1-0 Lion win over UTRGV. Malaya, congratulations.
Thank you so
Picking
much.
up the big cap, right?
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about the game. That was a big one against RGV.
Yes, it was. I would say, honestly, the game, it could have gone either way. UTRGV, they're very, I would say, very aggressive,
Hmm.
in a sense. And they played good soccer. And I feel like it's just like a battle. Like it would go from like one side of the field to the next. It was just like a matter of who was going to finish their chances. And we finally did that. So, but it was a good game. Like I said, could have gone either or. They worked hard. Like they did not give us a break. They kept going after it. Like they were like, but I think we matched up with them very, very well.
Tell us, you were on the field during the goal being scored, the only goal of the match. How did that all develop and with the ball ending up in the net?
So basically what happened was we were actually on our side of the field and Chris, she got fouled by one of the other players. So then I took a free kick. I would say, well, it was on our side of the field. So, and I've taken like a lot of free kicks, but like this was a good one. And I feel like my free
Hmm.
kick is pretty consistent, but I have like I don't know. Sometimes I just like know, like when I put it in, I knew we were gonna score if that makes sense. Cause I could just feel the touch off the ball, just like it was a
Hmm.
really good ball. So basically, I put it in, it literally landed right at Elena. And I'm not like I knew a goal was coming for her because the whole week she was like on fire with like shooting at practice. She was scoring everything. So yeah, and she like basically she collected the ball and like how do I explain it? She like so it like landed on her, she chested it and then turned around like kind of like a turn and just put it in. It was a really good goal.
Nice.
I'm happy for
Fun
her.
stuff.
Yeah.
Highlight video, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, how about this season for you Lions? It's been, I mean, y'all been building, 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 and now you're just one away from the first tournament that you want to go to.
Yes. I definitely feel like from the start of the season to now, we have just grown as a team. We've understand how like we all like know how everyone plays in a sense now, and I feel like we're really starting to come together and just like be able to play off of each other and just make stuff happen.
Yeah, but before we started the segment, you and I were visiting a lot about communications on the field and really how that works in practice. During the game, and of course, you got to talk in practices as well, or coach will tell you to talk during
Yeah.
practice, right?
Yes. Yes, communication is super important. Like just on the field, just constantly talking. I mean, my opinion, you can't talk enough. Like, just always talking, tell a player to turn, tell a player there's a man on. Like, it really helps people because sometimes there's that split second, I think, especially when you're playing forward or midfield, because you can't see always the whole field. Like,
Mm-hmm.
your back is facing the goal. So if there's a defender on them coming, like, just tell them man on, so they can make like a fast decision, or like you tell them where to pass the ball, who's open, just to help them out.
So being back there in the middle, closer to the back line with such a good field of vision, that really kind of makes you like a quarterback out there a little bit, doesn't it? Because you're
Yeah, it
directing
does.
traffic.
Yeah. So, yeah, you see everything. Also, obviously, goalkeepers, they see everything too. So they're
Oh
very
yeah.
vocal as well. They're very, very vocal. All of our goalkeepers are just great.
Who's got the biggest voice out there? I mean, you
Like,
just where she is no matter what, whether she yells or just says hello.
on the, like, just out of the goalkeepers or like anyone on the field.
Anybody, take your pick. Who can you hear
Yeah.
from anywhere on the field?
Okay, I would probably say either, probably Jillian.
Okay,
Yeah,
front to back.
talks a lot. Yes.
Excellent. All right, now I want to talk a little bit about you before you came to Commerce, before you came to, had you ever been to Texas before you came here?
Um, I've never actually been in Texas, but I had a layover on a flight.
Yeah,
Never actually, yeah,
that's kind of like being on an island, isn't it?
yeah.
So how you liking Commerce and ET?
I like it a lot. It's definitely like I would say very different from where I'm from in a sense, but I feel like it's a good change. And I like the people, the community, and it's just been really good for me with like having new experiences and stuff. There's nothing to complain about. The campus is beautiful. I also like just exploring and stuff. So,
So the one thing that you didn't bring with you to Texas though was your surfboard.
no.
Dana Point, that makes it sound like you lived right on the water. How close to the water were you?
Oh,
Are
I
you?
live really close. I think the closest beach to me was like 5 minutes away.
Oh my.
Yeah.
And how far did you have to go for good waves?
For good 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you give us like a two a 20-second surfer talk about a really good day at the beach using all your good surfing jargon?
Oh goodness. Okay, so I
How
would
were the waves today, dear?
just like talking like what kind of like what a good day is or
Yeah, anything. Just talk about
okay.
a
So
good day surfing.
what I would say a good day is for surfing is definitely when the waves are 3 to 5 feet because if it's any like smaller than that, you can still surf it, but like it's not that fun. And
Yeah.
then like I feel like 3 to 5 is good, and then make sure it's not like windy or like blown out because when the waves are blown out, it's really hard to surf, I would say, because it's like the waves are kind of when they're getting blown by wind, they're not really like crashing in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain it. They're kind of just weird, like weirdly shaped. They're not like pristine and nice. Um,
Yeah.
and also say a nice day to surf. Honestly, like you probably shouldn't, but when it's raining out, the waves are
Mm-hmm.
very, very good. But you do get sick if you just a warning, if you do that, you will get sick. You can ask my
All
dad.
right. So do surfers still talk about, oh, that's just tubular? Do they still even use that word or is that too old school?
I don't think they use that word anymore. We use like rad or sick. So,
Okay. All right.
yeah.
Well, it all changes over time. It does for
Yes.
every sport, I think.
Hmm.
Hey, it's great to have you on here. And thank you so much for giving us your time. Tell everybody a little bit about the one coming up. It's the last one.
Yes. So I think we are all just so excited because this is also just such a big game because like we said earlier, we have a chance to be part of like winning a title. So it's super exciting. I think we have a good like if we play how we've been playing and just work really hard throughout the whole game and just play with passion like we have been, I think we will be fine. Um, HCU, I don't know. I would say a lot about Houston Christian. I do have to watch their game against McNeese last night. I did watch a little bit of it. They
Hmm.
are seemed to be a little chippy. They did score. They scored in the last like 30 seconds of the game to win it, to barely make it. So I just think if we're just like on our A game, we'll be fine, and we just play our game.
Man, y'all ought to have a great crowd on hand tomorrow
Yes.
night for that. I mean, it's Greek
Yes.
night, it's kick
Mm-hmm.
or treat. Are you
Yes.
expecting to see like people dressed up on the sidelines and in the stands for
Yes.
this one?
Yes.
What
So coming to the
what
game, make
fun.
sure to get there early.
There you go. Love that stuff. All right. Well, Malaya, thank you so much again. Good luck tomorrow night, and y'all go get those dogs.
Yes, thank you for having me.
All right. Lions up, everybody. We're
Yes.
going to take another break. Malaya is giving way, and let's see who comes up next on Inside Lion Athletics. Hey, everybody, welcome back to some more Inside Lion Athletics. We've had a little men's basketball, we've had a little soccer. Now we're going to have some women's basketball. Here's head coach Valerie King. Coach, you had a little practice time against another team last week, like the men did. They start for real on Monday.
Yeah, we had our second scrimmage last Friday here at home. We were able to put, different combinations out on the floor. So that was really good just to kind of see some different lineups,
Mm-hmm.
um, and do some different things on the defensive end. So that was really good. And was able to get some of our young kids and new kids quite a few minutes.
All right. So over the course of the two scrimmages y'all have had, tell us the things you're liking, what you see, or what you feel like you probably need a little more work on.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're still trying to buckle down on our half court defense. I think it's work in progress. We've made huge strides just since September. But just making sure our kids are locked in every possession, not taking possessions off. Consistency is super key for us right now on that end of the floor. And just kind of tightening some stuff up on the offensive end with running our transition offense to our flow offense. So, there's always some bumps that, I feel like every day I see, something new that we need to fix or work on. But, the kids have been great. They've been in a great mindset with things we've needed to clean up and get better at. And, they've come in every day ready to work.
Coach, you talked about transition offense and flow offense like they're two different things. Can you explain the difference between them to
Yeah. I mean,
non-coaches in the
uh,
audience?
well, to us, we don't want it to be different. We don't want to be the team that, we try and score in transition and then have to set something up. So we talk a lot about transition offense to flow offense where there's not an end point or a starting point. It's as soon as we get the ball, we're going, and we should be able to flow straight into our half court offense. So it's I think it's evolved the past 3 weeks, especially since our first scrimmage. We've changed a few things up in transition offense. So, I think it's given our kids a little bit more of I would say, an overall grasp of what we're looking for and gives them a little bit more freedom in that movement as well.
All right. So who impressed you and the staff the most coming out of these? Was it the way you played offense, or was it the way they played defense?
I think it's the level of defensive intensity that we are able to get at. Obviously, it's not consistent enough yet. Obviously, that's something, like I said, we're working on daily. But I think knowing what level that we can and that level that we did get to is very promising. So we've
When
all really liked that.
when it comes to defense, and it's me looking at the roster, I know that now that you have Amaya Boyce out there on the court, that your defense probably just picked up a little bit.
Yeah, we've built our team where we have, quick athletic guards, not just on the offensive end, but I think we have kids that can guard the ball one-on-one a little bit better now. I think, we're putting a premium on that of being able to guard your man and and then when you're off the ball, being where you're supposed to be and knowing where you're supposed to be. So I think, you know, we had a little bit of a learning curve over the summer with all that stuff, with stuff we've changed. But to be where we are right now, I'm super happy defensively.
Coach, tell everybody a little bit about the process to how you built this team up, portal, JUCO, returnees. You've got a little bit of mix of everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think the most important piece was being able to retain, our roster from last year. We didn't have a transfer, you know, an undergrad transfer. So that was, obviously one of our main things last spring. And then we had signed three, what we thought, and obviously now we know, three really good freshmen, highly talented freshmen that would be able to come in and compete to, earn minutes to play.
Hmm.
So, that was a huge thing. And then being able to add, a point guard, a combo guard out of the portal, and then a 3-4 player out of the portal. We knew we needed those two things right away when the springtime rolled around. So I think, we being able to retain our roster, obviously, like I said, was number one, but being able to, add 5 kids that rounded us out and filled some holes that we needed filled. That was, obviously those were our goals.
Coach, with there being so many avenues to get talent through the portal or out of a JUCO or something, I think the high school kids are the ones that probably get left behind the most. But cream rises to the top, and sometimes it rises up to the level of the mid majors too. Are you able to attract and have conversations with a better class of high school athletes?
I would say that our staff has done a tremendous job of creating relationships with kids early in the process,
Hmm.
and getting them on campus and, showing them what we have, not just like facility wise, but showing them our culture, showing them us that, how we run things, how we treat our kids, how we interact on a daily basis. So, um, you know, kudos to my staff for doing all of that. They do the brunt of the work on that end. But I think just building relationships, and I think we've talked about it before, and when we get them here, it's, not that it's easy. I think we've built such a strong relationship that kids like it. So,
Okay. Hey, you mentioned transition and it made me think you've got one on your staff that's transitioning from player to now coach, and Jordy Newsom. How's it to have her back and teaching her what you do?
yeah, it's been great. Jordan wasn't around for just a few months this summer, and she walked right back in. It was like she wasn't gone. So it's been good. She's been good for our players. She's been good for our staff. Just a great kid. At some point I'll stop calling her a kid, but
Now you won't.
she's just the type of person, this is how she was as a player. She's going to do anything and everything, top to bottom. You never ever have to ask her twice. And she's just, good people all around. So we love her.
All right, good stuff. All right, coach. So coming up on Monday, North Texas at Dallas comes in. That'll be a good way to get things started at home. But the guys are heading to New Mexico, but you're not going very far. But Stillwater, Oklahoma, has a pretty good level of college basketball there. How's it going to go against Oklahoma State?
Well, you know what? I think our team right now is just so excited just to start the season and, play a game, get a game under our belt and move on from there. But, obviously we treat every game the same. We're going to prepare for UNT Dallas. We'll get our team right for them. We'll go, compete on Monday, play them, and then Oklahoma State will be on Tuesday morning before we head out. So, I think our kids are they're ready to play somebody else.
Absolutely. If you've been practicing as long as Roses have, and I'm sure they have, they definitely need to see a different color
Right.
uniform.
That's correct.
All right, coach. Well, good luck, and we'll see you Monday for sure. And then it's basketball season, and here we go. It'll be
All
April before we know it.
right. No. Well, thanks, Charlie. I appreciate it.
All right, let's Lions up and get them out of here, Coach. Thanks again. And folks, stick around. We've got more to come. It's a big show today on Inside Lion Athletics. Hey, everybody, welcome back. More Inside Lion Athletics. We got a full list today. Now we're moving over to cross country. Here's your little insider. The Lion cross country teams, men and women, are going to be the first to advance to the NCAA regional cross country meet. And this is the guy that's going to be out there coaching them up. Natnael Amare, it's so good to meet you.
Oh,
And
great.
we'll shake hands when I get back to the MERS.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Great meeting you, and I'm very happy to be here.
Hey, tell us, this is not exactly your favorite training weather out there right now, is it?
Well, actually, to be honest with you, this is cross-country weather, and
Okay.
starting off in August with all Texas weather and being 100 degrees with humidity and stuff, and right now they're loving it. They're loving it.
So tell us a little bit about your squads and their approach to the Southland Conference Championships, which are what, 2 days away down in Natchitoches.
Yeah, we got our guys rolling right now, and everybody's pretty much just hungry, and they've been going at it since August.
Mm-hmm.
I keep telling them we just got to continue taking it one day at a time, and guess what? The day's here. Same thing with the women's team. We've dealt with a little bit of naggy injuries here and there and sickness, but it looks like we almost got everybody on the women's side, but the guys are ready to roll.
Outstanding. Talk a little bit about some of the courses y'all run against. I mean, what I had one coach tell me once upon a time, and he wasn't the cross country coach, okay? But was the cross country runners got to see more golf courses than some golfers.
Yes. Well, at least with us, going to UT Tyler, that
Mm-hmm.
was a very, very beautiful course with a lot of hills,
Okay.
But it gives you an idea, we used it as more of a training.
Mm-hmm.
We played it smart. We didn't want to overdo it because it was their first 8K of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And they learned a lot from it, moving to San Antonio, being a golf course, a lot of turns and then obviously we moved on to Arkansas, which is a beautiful course.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing we deal with Arkansas was the little bit of the heat, but they overcome that and then we went to Mississippi, beautiful cross country course
Mm-hmm.
with hills on it. And that's kind of what I prepare the guys and the ladies. And, when we practice, we kind of just mixed it up. We didn't train in the same spot. We're
Mm-hmm.
here, we're moving there. And they were, excited. They understand why I was doing that. And, the most important thing is they were having fun.
Excellent. So what do you know about the course in Natchitoches? Have they run it yet? Have they
Uh,
been on that course?
No, we haven't. From looking at the picture, it looks
Mm-hmm.
flat. Hey, I've seen a lot of courses that look flat, but then when you get there, you kind of like, oh, very interesting, But I know we're going to be doing loops, and that's mostly a little challenging. But again, that's the beauty about cross country. Everybody's running on the same course. You just got to show up and take care of business.
So you've got the distances are different. How many different races will there be? Is it 5K, 8K, and anything else? 10K, I'm sure.
Yeah, the women will be running 6K.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the men will be running 8K.
Okay, there we go. Any other distances, or those are the ones?
Well, when we get to regionals, the guys will run 10K.
Okay.
Yes, and the women will be 6K.
Man, that's going to be exciting for them. So, the first NCAA regional, which takes the 5 finishers from each conference
Yes.
Championship competing school. So, I mean, you get all 5 in no matter what.
Yes.
On each squad. Where's that going to be? Where will that race be?
That would be in Arkansas.
Okay.
We, again, everybody knows that course very well. But, like the only difference is we're going from an 8K to 10K, so
Mm-hmm.
just doing a little bit of a wider course.
Okay.
Doing an extra loop, you could say.
So tell us a little bit about recruiting cross-country runners.
Sure.
Where do you go to get them? And
Uh,
then what are you looking for in the student athletes that you want to recruit?
The main thing is how passionate they are about the sport, and then obviously the most important thing is make sure we have their major. That's the kind of the first thing I kind of ask. Make sure they take a look at our website. We have their
Mhm.
major, and then from there, as asking them about the passion for the sport. We want student athletes that love it. They understand what it's going to take for us to get to the next level, compete against everybody in the country now that we're officially D1, what is going to take, to make a statement,
Mm-hmm.
the guys are getting there, like I said, but at the same time, recruiting wise is helping us because of our results so far.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's looking at it. Oh, coach, you guys are improving. I said, we're getting there, but they like that. And so again, it's more about passion for the sport.
Do you have runners on your squad that, you've got some real good flat ground runners that can, make up ground on people, and some people who might be a little bit better on the hills than others?
Actually, it's mixed.
Okay.
We're more of stay in the pack. That's the way we train. Maintain contact with the leaders, and
Mm-hmm.
start making your move halfway through the race. It's just all about being patient. Same way that when we train, just be patient. Let everything come to you. Everything else will take care of itself. You know.
All
Uh,
right.
yeah.
Well, it's going to be exciting. Who's going to be the biggest competition for the conference crown?
I mean, you could look at the results throughout the season.
Mm-hmm.
When you're dealing with a small meet in conference championships, uh, it's up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really. I mean, everybody had a different results throughout the season.
Mm-hmm.
One team kind of stands out, SFA, but you know what? Anything can happen in conference because it's a smaller meet.
So with all of the different types of runners, but the five that are going to go, do you measure things improvement or falling back by what that cumulative time is for all five entrants?
Yeah, it's mainly where you are between your 1 and 5, but mainly I would like one and 2, they could be together, and then you also want to have your 3 and 4 and 5 just as close as possible. The closer they are, the better. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
the beautiful thing about conference championships, it's not about time, it's about place. So if we could just pass every jersey that we can, the better the points.
Hook
Yeah.
them and reel them in, right?
Yes, yes, so
Outstanding.
yeah.
All right, man. Well, listen, it's so good to have you on here.
Yes,
And Commerce is better than Texarkana, right?
yes, sir. Oh,
Okay, as
100%.
long as we have that settled. That's
Yes,
all
sir.
great.
Okay.
Coach, we're going to line up here and wish you all the very best of luck until we see you next
Thank you.
on Inside Lion Athletics. Folks, stick around. We'll be back with more after this. Welcome back, everybody, to Inside Lion Athletics. Man, we are getting the whole department in here today. Next up, Clint Dolezel, head coach of your East Texas A&M Lions. Coach, tough one against SFA Saturday night, and you sure got a lot of good stuff to work with for Southeastern Louisiana Saturday, because you say
Yeah,
those teams are pretty close alike.
they are. They're very similar. Both strong pass rushing teams, run the ball pretty well, probably slight edge to Southeastern as far as the running attack. They both throw very similar too. So, yeah, we have our hands full this week. Yeah, very disappointing. Our first half, we played pretty good football, honestly, on both sides of the ball. And, missed some, we've been making field goals. We missed 2 of them in that game, one blocked, and, very I felt like they were offsides, honestly, on the first one by a couple yards, and they didn't call it, which would have been a huge swing, putting us in basically in a 4th and 2. Probably would have gone for it at that point, but it got it blocked. Wasn't a very good snap. And then right before half, we got down and made a pretty good drive and got down to field goal range, and maybe should have called a timeout. Maybe should have ran one more play, got a little more yards there for him to attempt it. But in the second half was tell it two halves. We didn't protect very well, and I probably abandoned the run maybe a little too early because they pinned their ears back and they just came after us, and we didn't have a lot of time back there. So it was tough sledding for the quarterbacks.
We had that one opportunity. We had them pinned back up against their own 1-yard line, and heck, the punt team was headed out there. What in the world happened?
Yeah, and we have discussed that as well. Player got I don't know if it was at the same drive where he got a personal foul, or I thought they made a play on. I don't remember if that was the exact one or not.
I can't, Coach.
I don't know if I don't think it was actually action. I think they made a pretty good play on 3rd down in there, and
Yes.
changed. They caught a ball on their sideline. That's right. So it wasn't that drive. It was another one. But overall, I mean, we gave up a lot of yards defensively, but man, we got 4 turnovers, so they kept us in the ball game, and we fed off those turnovers. Some of our points came off of that. So, anytime you can win the turnover battle 4-1, you should win most ball games, and we just didn't get it done.
Coach, with Southeastern looking as much like SFA as you think they do, what did you get out of this game that's going to help you the most on Saturday?
Yeah, we're going to help with the protection. I can't
Okay.
just expect, those 5 guys up front to get it done by themselves. It's asking a lot. We're really beat up there. We're on our 3rd tackle right now and maybe playing our 4th this week. So, we're going to have to mix up protection with using the tight ends, using the running backs, and not just, banding it and go 10 personnel like I did last week. So looked on back at that, and that was probably a mistake, and should have kept some 11 in there just for protection wise, just to help chip and things like that. So we're definitely going to have to add some of that to our arsenal to help out with the line.
Okay, very good. Southeastern's coming in undefeated like SFA and like Lamar, of all people. We had them. The next guys had them, but
Yeah.
Lamar's still undefeated up there.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. If we don't beat Southeastern, I really feel like Southeastern Stephen F will beat Lamar pretty handily. I felt like both those teams, and we haven't played obviously Southeastern yet, but just watching them on film and watching them play, I feel like they'll both handle Lamar. And if we don't beat Southeastern, I'm not sure who will. And they both could end up being undefeated, and so we'll see how that works out. But we can only hold our own in our end of it, and we're just going to try to finish out strong.
Coach, McNeese after that, Houston Christian, and then UT RGV. Lions get to go down to the Valley, where that upstart squad of newcomers has
They don't look like
been
ours
opening some eyes. They don't. Well, as many transfers as they had in, I don't think they are newcomers.
No, they're pretty, especially on the offensive side. Their whole offense looks like a well-oiled machine. I've got first chance to watch them this week against Southeastern. Watching that film, and yeah, their offense can go. They can put up some points on you in a hurry.
Very well. What do you think we can get done against Southeastern? Have they got it? I mean, we don't want to give away secrets, but
I mean, obviously, I think we can get after them defensively. I think it'll be a very similar game, like I said, to Stephen F. I think we'll put some pressure on their quarterback. Hopefully, he'll make some mistakes like theirs did. We just got to keep ourselves, in makeable 3rd downs. I think we're in a lot of 3rd and longs, against Stephen F. where we just can't be that way. We can't put that much pressure on offensive line to hold up against a really good pass rush team, like we've said. And we got to win the special teams battle. We've got to win 2 of the 3. And, I felt like we won half of one. When I say, our defense won, half that with, they gave up a lot of yards again, but those 4 turnovers are just absolutely huge. If we can get those again, I think, we have a great chance to win the football game.
All right, Coach. Health wise, anybody back, or did we lose anybody at this point?
We're not. Hey, I don't want to give any secrets away either. Everybody watch these podcasts, so stop asking stuff,
Oh, okay.
give stuff away. Dang. No, we are. I mean, that's just where it is. Nobody's healthy this point of the season, and it seems to hurt a little bit worse when you're losing, and you don't feel quite as bad when you're winning. So I'm sure Southeastern feels pretty good with their bumps and bruises, where ours hurt just a little bit more. It's when you're not coming out on the right end of a win or a loss there. So um, we'll be fine. We'll go down there and give them everything they want.
All right. Well, Coach, just because this is all about commerce athletics and the whole culture around that university, that's where you met your wife. And
Yep.
today you got a birthday you're helping to celebrate. We've
Yep, my
already,
daughter.
yeah. So go ahead and give her the shout out.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, Molly. I sent her a nice little text this morning. She's doing great in her job. Proud of her.
And she's very, very happy with Chris with the photo that she put out.
Yeah, we had a
So,
birthday party at my wife's family side when she was 3, and it's quite comical of seeing her cry and throw a fit there with her little party hat on. We're laughing at her as she's crying. So we're great parents.
all right, man. Well, happy birthday, Molly. And hey, go Lions. We're going to get everybody ready for the next segment. Coach, we will see you on the field Saturday down in Hammond.
Sounds good, Charlie. Appreciate it.
All right, folks. Hey, stick around. We still got a few coaches to go and maybe even another student athlete on Inside Lion Athletics. Hey, folks, welcome back. Some more Inside Lion Athletics. We're so full of Lion Athletics this week that I'm not sure Inside can contain us all. Got Ashley Gordon on. Coach, another win this or last week, and this is kind of the leisurely walk up to the Southland Conference Championship tournament. You didn't have to play 2 games this week. You got one, and it's going to be against Houston Christian. Big game tomorrow night.
It is a big game. I mean, we're coming off of a great win. I felt pretty fortunate that we only played 1 game last weekend. It was a much needed rest to get an extra training session in and get some of our, injuries back, on the field. And so I was pleased with the single game, getting the W. The women always bring it when they're at home. We have great fans. It was a great turnout. And so looking forward to tomorrow night against Houston Christian.
And you have the prospects of another really good crowd for no other reason than people are get to dress up in their Halloween costumes, right?
Right, I've been told, and it's also Greek night. I think there's a little trunk or treat. There's some tailgating. So I think that the university, the athletic department's doing a great job in regards to getting fans out. Last home game of the season. So
Yeah.
and support.
All right. Excellent stuff. 1-0. It wasn't there wasn't any laughing on this game until it was all the way over.
Yes, yeah. I mean, we were, leading in stats at halftime. I felt really good about how we were playing. We were in control of the game. And we had a free kick that was about in the 65th minute in which May Ring, who was defensive player of the week, put a ball into the mixer of the goalkeeper, and little bit of mayhem in there, and Elena Flores got on the end of it and scored a really good goal. So went up 1-0. Still thought that we were playing well and control of the game, and then we kind of went into panic mode in the last 10 minutes. So and of course they were throwing the kitchen sink at us. So the last 10 minutes we were defending with our life in the last 10 minutes, but happy that Jill got the shutout. Our back line has continued to play really, really well and been really consistent. And so, I'm excited to go into our last game and also the conference tournament with just consistency in our back line for sure.
Tell us a little bit about your opponent tomorrow. I believe it is Houston Christian you're wrapping up against.
Yeah, just, organized team. Houston is sitting with 11 points as well. And if you look at the standings, you've got a number of teams, 6 teams that are all basically within 3 to 4 points of each other. So there's a battle right now at I said the bottom for it really, no really bottom, but I'm saying there's a battle right now for the Southland Conference in regards to who's still going to make it into the tournament. It's coming down to the wire. And so there's a lot of important games. And then although that we've, clinched a spot in the tournament, we're playing for seedings as well. And
Sure.
from what I understand, if we get the W and if one of our Northwestern State, if they were to lose to Nichols, from what I've been told, we would be named co-champions. But at the end of the day, control the controllables. Can't worry about any of that. We just got to come out and play hard and play for the W and get ready to, travel to the Southland and get ready for the next game.
All right. Don't worry about the dogs, coach. They won't bite, I promise. Hey, so you get to look over at cross country and get to celebrate that they're going to be the first ones to go to any NCAA postseason performance. Are y'all going to lean on the new guy and ask him, how was it? So you can tell your team.
Look, I think every coach right now is so honed in on their own team and job, but for sure, they can lead the pathway for sure. Lead the path.
All right. So kickoff on the match tomorrow night, 7:00.
No, actually, it's kickoff at 6:30. So
okay.
Kickoff at 6:30. Again, you've got Houston Christian coming in here. They're an organized team, well-coached team, and we just got to get prepared to play.
Coach, Houston Christian has won more games than anybody but Northwestern, not in conference, but just overall. They can be scary.
I know, of course. And, and everybody schedules their non-conference season, differently. And you have some, teams that will schedule a number of Power Four schools. We had 2 on the schedule, and of course, Northwestern State had some as well. And so, we're always looking to, schedule the non-conference schedule that's going to help prepare your team for conference play. And so every coach, every team is different. I'd like to be able to say that I'm wishing for our first non-conference that we would be completely healthy. But like I said, it's different for everybody.
All right, good enough. Well, Coach, good luck tomorrow night. Maybe catch a little candy on the sidelines at halftime. Who knows? They'll have it out there for you.
That's right. That's right. We need the W. If we get the W, there'll be 3 of us sitting with the same amount of points at the top of the table. So it'll make it for an interesting Southland Conference tournament.
What happens then, Coach? USFA, there are no 3-headed coins.
Right. Well, and then you've got from a seeding standpoint, there'll be head to head. So, Northwestern State has the head to head against us. Northwestern State tied SFA and we beat SFA. So, if we all 3 happen to have 19 points, then Northwestern State would end up getting the number 1 seed because they beat us and tied SFA. We would have the number 2 seed because we beat SFA. So, and SFA would be sitting with 3, but
okay. They don't go into goal differential or anything like that.
Getting into all that. No, the first tiebreaker is head to head. So that's where, the seedings would come out. But, again, I'm getting ahead of ourselves. We just got to come out and play well tomorrow. So excited about the game, excited to play, at home on a cool October night and get the W.
All right, Coach, good enough.
All right,
hey, good luck to you. Lions up. And folks, we're going to take one more break and come back and wrap up another edition of Inside Lion Athletics. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. More Inside Lion Athletics. It's a marathon today. We've already had the cross-country team on, but we haven't had any marathoners on yet, but we're doing it ourselves. Coach Joe Morales is en route to Houston Christian University and the next Lion volleyball matchup. Coach, that was a tough one at home Saturday against Lamar. It went 5. But there's you don't get to rest on your laurels or your tears. Time to move on, and you got one right away tomorrow.
Yeah, we got Houston Christian tomorrow, so it was a tough one. With two good programs that are in the midst of coming up in the Southland. Lamar and us have done. Ariel has done a great job since he got there. I've been building this one a year ahead of him, and so I still think we're both young teams, and we're both rising. It's just unfortunate that one has to win, one has to lose, and we played all the way to the so we could, and I still think that we're playing really good volleyball, and we're on our way to Houston Christian to make that happen.
Coach, as far as you brought that team along in your 3rd season, even after a heartbreaker like you had at home Saturday, you had a lot of people coming up talking that hadn't seen your team game by game, and they can see the difference.
Yeah, it's been really notable in the community and the campus, and even in the league. We're doing some good things here from a volleyball perspective, and we don't have. I mean, other than I would say Jade is probably one. I've never seen a competitor such as her, but I think our program has just been really good doing it together. We've been very good at the team aspect of it, and I think a lot. It's going to get down to the wire a little bit, and I think it's going to get a little bit more pressure with the upperclassmen because seniors want to get to that point. But we're going to stay relaxed. We're going to keep on doing what we do and doing what we do best, and that's playing together. So, and I think they're doing a good job of that.
All right. When it comes to looking at the standings and the matchups as they appear, Houston Christian and UIW are two teams very, very close to the Lions in the standings.
Yeah, they are. It was unfortunate that we got the losses early on against these two teams, but it was also the first week of the conference. Things have changed, and I think we've gotten a lot better. I'm not to say that they've gotten a lot better too, but I think we're ready to perform. And I think our kids know that we kind of let those two sneak away from us. So we're excited to get them in Houston. And most of my kids are recruited, from Houston and San Antonio area. So it's going to be like a homecoming for us as well. Like it's not like we're going to play in a unfamiliar place. You got a lot of support in those cities, and so that's also going to be really awesome. Our pass list is going off the roof. It's like just how many people are going to be attending these games. So I think the kids are excited about that, but also excited to have another opportunity, another crack at that. So we're moving forward.
Coach, I know it's a slight difference, but you've got more wins on the road than you do at home. Is it a good time to be heading out for a couple of days?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I've been trying to wrap my finger around that. I don't know why. I don't know if we get a little more anxious when we're at home or pressure or whatnot in front of our home crowd. And I'm not sure. We're still playing well. It's not like we're not playing well. But the road has been giving us a little bit more vibe. And but I also think it's routine, right? We've been playing on the road for a long time too. So 3 weeks, yeah. So like it's kind of been the norm for us. Which unfortunately, like other than our first tournament, we've been on the road consistently. And so they've got the hang of that. And we got to get back into it, swinging things at home. But, no time like the present, right, to be taking advantage of that with this weekend.
So what's the routine when y'all go on the road? You want to get settled in? Do you want to go straight to the gym, or you want to go straight to the hotel or get them fed?
Well, it's a little different sometimes. This is our second bus trip. We've been flying for the most part. So I think, we're going to go to a practice. We'll actually practice at a different facility today just because we're going to be up north in Houston because we're going to be attending a family gathering. So then from there, we'll have some fun there, and then we'll head to the hotel, check in. Tomorrow we'll have a morning practice at Houston Christian. and then the day kind of gets started from there. So, you know, we try to give them a little downtime, some study time as well. We'll do some film action as well.
Mm-hmm.
But we try to make these trips as good of an experience for them. It's not, you know, yes, a lot of people say yes, you know, it's a business trip, but the business starts when you're locked in with film, or you're locked in at practice, or you're locked in a game. And right now, we're not in those sequences where, you know, we're going to go to dinner, we're going to go to this, and so it becomes more team oriented than anything. So we don't want to confuse those things with business and fun. We just want to be able to separate them and then do them when you know, we need to be on point. So we'll go to practice, we'll get going, and then we'll have fun as a team and go to dinner, and then kind of unwind a little bit, and then head to the hotel. So
Okay, good deal. And
Yeah.
then going to San Antonio, you won't have any friends, or is it UIW you go to Saturday?
yeah. I don't know.
You'll have a few family and friends around for that one.
Yeah, that would be a fun one. Like I said, this trip is usually kind of special because a lot of our kids are from that area, including myself, and so we're gonna get a lot of people out there. And sometimes, you know, I remember I think my first year there, they were like, "Yo, this is like, you had more fans than the home team at some point," you know, and so that's always awesome. You know, and so our kids love playing in front of them as well, especially their extended family and friends that they don't get to see in Commerce. So that's always a sight. And so that's the fun. You know, I myself, I have family there too, you know, and so it'll be a fun environment for sure.
Outstanding. All right, Coach, we're just across the halfway mark of the conference schedule, right? How do you
we are.
how do you measure your team right now besides the wins and losses? I mean, what are you seeing what you hope for? Are they there yet? Are they not there?
You know, I think it's a little bit of both. I think, you know, we aren't there yet. I think we are there. I think we're peaking at the right time. The wins and losses doesn't show that a lot. I mean, this is a pretty competitive league, especially our division. Our division in itself, being in the West, it's really tough. But I still feel confident that we can make a push to make the conference tournament, and then you know, make a splash. I mean, we're going to be hosting it, so that's going to be a different environment in itself. And I talked to them about the heightening of how much different it is playing in a conference tournament versus regular season. Just a little bit more added on that. But the beauty about it is that we're playing at home, so pretty confident that we'll be there. And you know, we got 6 more games here, so we can still 3 of them. We're looking really good.
There you go. Hey,
Yeah.
I know that the bulk of all the actual tournament operation belongs to somebody else, but you are the host head coach. How much are you involved in that at all? Is Jim and Avi and all that,
Yeah,
everybody else got it under control?
I hope so. I got other things to deal with, but no, I think we'll meet as a staff and administration, and then of course with the conference. You know, they'll be working with me in terms of the volleyball etches, but in terms of the logistics and whatnot, I think, you know, we're all going to be working together cohesively. But I think most of it is going to be, you know, with the admin. And I mean, the good thing is we hosted a tournament first weekend, so we got a feel for it of how to manage it. But the difference is now it's not just 2 visiting teams; it's going to be 7 visiting teams. So you know, we got to, you know, work around it. You know, everyone's going to be lending a hand in it in terms of athletics, the use of facilities there. So we'll kind of meet, like I would say, is a week or 2, and kind of just talk about the logistics, and they'll get the feedback from me from a volleyball standpoint, and things that we need to do in terms of. And of course, the conference is going to have their input as well, because it is a conference tournament. But I'm pretty. I mean, if Hobby's running the show, I have no doubt whatsoever. Like absolutely. I mean, there's so many times in the game that the referee would say, "Hey, the beat is down. We don't have replay." And I'm like, "Hobby's here, right?" He's like, "Yeah, it'll be up by game time. I have no problem with that." And the referee would come back like, "Hey, coach, it's up." I was like, "I wasn't worried at all."
I told you.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
All right, man.
yeah, it'll be fun, and we're just weeks away. So,
All right. Well, Coach, you are heading down the road. We're going to lines up and leave you be the rest of the way. Good
Hey,
luck
thanks,
against Houston Christian tomorrow. We'll be keeping up with it.
Thanks, Charlie. Go Lions.
All right, folks, stick around. We've got one more to go. Inside Lion Athletics right after this. Hey, everybody, welcome back. We're getting near the end of Inside Lion Athletics, but we're not at the end without visiting with Lion golf head coach, Mr. Dolehide. Hey, coach, let's we got champions already. Y'all
That's
picked
right.
up, the men picked up a tournament win. That is the first of the Division One era as a team. Uh, there's fireworks for that normally, right?
Hey, that one felt good. That one felt good. It's a great way to end the fall season for sure.
Brian, talk a little bit about the way that one went. That tournament was down in New Orleans, if I'm not mistaken. One of Nichols got to play the host for this.
That's right. Yeah. It was a really good event for the guys. I mean, it was a long time coming, it felt like. We ended up firing 37 under, leading the way with Giannis, who shot a course record in the second round, 10 under, 62.
Wow.
And Big Wave
That's
Dave, he fired, I think, 11 under. So, and then Cooper got a top 10. I mean, it was really nice for all the guys. That's for sure.
so when you have a tough day on a course in Memphis, which we will not talk about, but then you get to a day like this. Is this when the golf coach leans back and says, "I taught them all they know"?
Yeah, I mean, we started off in South Carolina. I wouldn't say it was a great event. I wouldn't say it was a bad event. Uh, Davis kind of held us together with a top 10
Mm-hmm.
like he's been doing all season. And you know, all the guys were just getting back from, their summer and um so it was an okay event. Then we go into Memphis um and just didn't have our game that week. It didn't go too well for any of the guys. Outside of Big Wave Dave again, he had his T11 or something like that. But then, we got right back to work. Um, Played out at Arkansas State, got third, built some confidence there after a tough week in Memphis, and then the guys went out and threw up a 37 under down in New Orleans. So,
Man. So
yeah.
y'all were playing at Latour. I'm sure that's not the only one in New Orleans.
Oh, yeah.
What was that course like, and how's it compared to some of the others?
They all have their differences. This one is pretty gettable. You always got to be able to hit the ball and roll in some putts. So looks like we did that a little bit more than the rest of the field. But yeah, this fall we were able to take it pretty deep under par, which felt good for all the guys for sure. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
we've been able to go out to Sulphur Springs Country Club, which we've been able to tear up out there, so that's built some confidence in our birdies, and we've been making a lot of those out there, and it's translating onto the tournament scene.
So if you go to New Orleans to play, you pretty much don't have to worry about the ups and downs of a hilly course, right?
Yeah, no, I mean we play pretty flat golf courses um, outside of Comanche Trace at conference, so um, yeah, no, there's not much elevation or ups and downs on the golf course out there.
All right. If y'all have completed the fall schedule,
Mhm.
how well do you think you have a finger on your team's identity at this point?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically the same team as last year, but we brought in Davis,
Okay.
who's ranked about 500 in the country right now. So he was a great addition to the program. He's been playing lights out ever since he stepped foot on campus. So that's been great. And all the returners are playing pretty solid. So we're really confident in our preparation coming into this fall, and confident going into the spring as well.
Good deal. So how are things going over on the women's team?
Yeah, so we actually basically have a whole new team on the women's side. So quite the opposite of the guys. We have 2 returners in both Maries, and then we have four new girls on the team. 2 of them being freshmen. So we're a bit young on the women's side, and just really building that experience playing in more college events. So we played 5 in the fall. Didn't really have our best stuff for a majority of those. One week we were struggling putting. The next week we were struggling with our ball flight. So really just trying to dial it in and get ready for the spring.
Well, it'll be here before you know it, because I mean, it just seems like a couple of weeks ago y'all were getting ready to hit the road for the first one.
Right. Yeah, no, we're all excited, girls and guys. We're excited for this spring season to come along.
All right, outstanding stuff. Does this pause between seasons, is this when all the golf coaches head out and hit the recruiting trails?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a year-long thing,
It never stops.
yeah, I mean, that's every sport. Outside of the recruiting window, I'm not allowed to recruit in, so
Of course.
shout out to compliance for that one. But yeah, no, it's
Compliance needs that love too sometimes, don't they?
yeah, no, it's a good time to, go out and watch some guys and girls, or touch base and let them know how our fall went and where we could see them helping us.
All right. So who are the leaders on these teams? Who's keeping everybody loose and playing good team golf?
Yeah, I mean, Marie B, she's been a stud for us ever since she got here. And Marie N, they're both our captains on the women's side, and then we have Matt Walters on the men's side. We're on the men's side, we're a bit older. We've got 3 seniors, a 5th year, and a couple of juniors and a sophomore on the team. So really experienced on the guys' side, and both the Maries have been helping out the transfers and the freshmen, get used to our college schedule.
Okay, good enough. Well, it's that pause for y'all, but it's not really a pause. It's just a lack of competition dates.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
We'll just keep practicing and get ready for February.
Okay. Where's the first one for each team in February?
For the women, we're going to San Marcos for Texas State. It's the first week of February, and then the guys, we're going out to California for Wyoming's event later in February.
Very good. Heading to Pebble Beach? Maybe
No,
not
we're
quite.
going to Palm Desert out there.
That'll work. Coach, appreciate it, man. Always good to have you on, and don't be a stranger in the next couple of months.
No doubt.
All right, folks, we're going to line up here, and that's going to do it. Inside Lion Athletics, your weekly look. We let Jim have a pass. I guess he had to go work. We let him do that because he's good at it. We thank you all for tuning in again, and we'll see you next week.